Hey, what's going on everybody? It's Dom from Lensprotogo and Lens Rentals, and welcome back to the channel. This week, I'm coming at you again with another wireless video transmission kit, and this time, it's the CineEye II Pro from Accsoon. Now this is a really neat kit if you ask me, and it definitely checks off a lot of the boxes that you want from a wireless video kit. So in this video, I'm gonna get into all of those as well as give you a quick tutorial of how to set up the Accsoon CineEye II Pro. So without wasting any more time, let's take a look at this kit. In our CineEye II Pro kit, you get one wireless video transmitter, one receiver, 8 screw-on antennas, 4 for each unit, 2 L-series batteries, a brick, and cables to charge both of those batteries at once, and 2 hot shoe to quarter 20 adapters. So here's the kit all built up, and minus the battery, the units themselves are nice and thin, which is a plus, and they certainly feel rigidly constructed. The only feature that's a bit cumbersome to me is these antennas. There are 4 of them per unit, and altogether, they basically take up an area that's larger than the unit itself. Also, I would have really liked an SDI option on the system, but it's HDMI only. But at least the transmitter has HDMI in and out, so you can loop that to another monitor. One neat thing though, for compatible cameras, you can use this USB-C here too for camera control from the Accsoon app. Build-wise, I really have no complaints. All the buttons on these units respond really well, including this dial on the side. And the HDMI ports seat an HDMI cable very snugly, and the battery system is excellent too. The battery gets seated really nice and deep in there, and you get a firm clicking response when connecting and ejecting a battery. And like I said, without a battery, this unit has a very friendly thin profile. Alright, so now let's take a look at what it's like navigating one of these units. The startup time takes a bit long, so that's one thing to keep in mind if this unit has to power off and then on again on your shoot. And as for navigation, there actually isn't much you can really do. You have a few options for like different latency to quality ratios, and you can go in and change the frequency on the units, but that's pretty much it. Also, if you change the setting on the group dial up here, no matter what, this message will pop up telling you that your parms have changed. And don't worry, your Parmesan cheese is not in danger. All this is saying is that the wireless parameters have been changed and the unit has to reset to make that change. This feature does allow you to have 16 different sets of Accsoon transmitters on one shoot though, which is more than you would probably ever have, but that's awesome. So I have one more thing to cover about this kit before I get into building it up, and that's what you're able to do with the Accsoon Go app. This app allows for another point of wireless monitoring that takes a signal directly from the transmitter via its own dedicated Wi-Fi signal. And I'll get into exactly how you do this in the tutorial part of this video later, but once you're in there, you hit monitor, and as long as you're relatively close to the transmitter, you have a very decent low latency image right on a mobile device. From this app too, you also have plenty of exposure tools and scopes, and also focus peaking, and these tools are all customizable too. And you can actually start and stop recording right from the app too, so that's a big feature in my opinion. Okay, so now that all of that is out of the way, now I'm gonna walk you through what I think is like the quintessential setup for this Accsoon wireless video kit. And while I set that up, I'm gonna walk you through what I'm doing. So first, of course, I'm going to get a camera that has HDMI out. Next, I'm gonna figure out my main client monitor, and I think I'll use this Sumo 19 from Atomos. Next, I'm going to get an operator's monitor involved here too, so I'm going to grab this Ninja V. And finally, I'm going to grab an iPad for an additional point of wireless monitoring down the line. Now it's time to get these wireless video units hooked up to their corresponding places, and I'll start with the transmitter, which goes on the camera, of course. For the transmitter, I'm gonna thread an Israeli arm into the quarter 20 at the bottom here, so I have a lot of flexibility of where to put it. Next, I'm gonna find a good spot for my Ninja, which is my operator's monitor. Cool, now that my transmitter and my little monitor are attached on my rig where I want them, I'm going to run an HDMI cable from the camera to the transmitter into the HDMI in port, and run a cable from the HDMI out port to my little monitor down here. This way I can still use the camera's HDMI to give a signal to the transmitter and have a clean signal going to my on-camera monitor as well. I don't have to choose between the two. Next, I'm gonna pop over to my Sumo 19 monitor, and I'm gonna use a little thread adapter to get the receiver seated right on top here. Now, all I'm gonna do is run an HDMI cable from the receiver to the HDMI in of the Sumo, and once everything is powered on, I'll have a connection. Now, it's just as easy as powering on each device and getting to the same group and channel. One thing to keep in mind though, this is only a 1080 60p system, so make sure your camera is only outputting in 1080. Make sure all your devices you're using are set to take video over HDMI and not SDI. Okay, so now that all my devices are powered on and hooked up, let's see what we got. I have my camera rig right here with my video signal on my Ninja, and I can tell my Accsoon CineEye II Pro transmitter is on and has a signal. Now I'm going over to check my client monitor, which is taking HDMI in from the receiver at what looks to be a very, very low latency. So pretty great and sturdy connection I have here, but there's one more trick I want to show you that really gives this kit the extra edge, and that's the mobile device monitoring. So I like to do this test last while everything is already hooked up, and I suggest you do that too. I'm going to go to the Accsoon Go app on my tablet, go through the drop down here in the top left and hit Wi-Fi. This is going to bring me to the available Wi-Fi networks, and you may have to refresh the list for it to pop up, but when it does, it should be something like CineEye II Pro in the name. Go ahead and connect to that, and the password right out of the box is 12345678. And once you get connected, you can pop back into the app, hit monitor, and now you have another point of wireless video. This, of course, is not going to be as reliable or as low latency as the boosted connection from the receiver itself, but that's totally fine if you just needed that extra source of video. Okay, so there you have it on this video covering the CineEye II Pro wireless video transmitter from Accsoon. So, as always, if you have any questions about this kit or any of the gear that I used in that tutorial, drop a comment in the comment section below and we'll start a discussion. Also, if you happen to like this video, hit it with a thumbs up button down below and let me know you liked it. And if you're not already, subscribe to the channel. And if you are subscribed, you can hit that little bell button down there too to be notified whenever we post new content, which is every week. So take care, and we'll see you in the next one.